I'm live and it's not midnight. So that means that I got in time today, just barely. Hi, everybody. Whew. Gonna perform tomorrow. Gonna be playing guitar. Hey, Linda. And singing and a thing for Penny. And I'm finding myself, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about performance, and then I'm thinking about Will Smith, and I'm thinking about, all of the stuff, the beauty of Kamala Harris and Ketanji Jackson Brown on either side of Joe Biden walking. I mean, this world, it gets better in places, it gets worse in places. Um, I want to say this about the whole Will Smith thing. I am, I'm not even disappointed at this point. Sorry about that. Don't mean to make people seasick. I'm not even disappointed. I'm, it's so far beyond that because the arrogance is the part that got me. And I said to myself at the time, um, I wonder if they're going to treat him like a white man because of his money. It was an interesting feeling. It was an interesting thought, sensation. For the record, I don't need Will Smith's protection. As a Black woman, he doesn't speak for me. My protection and safety come from inside me and then gets deeply augmented by the beloveds around me who have chosen to step in as what I would call buildings, beyond a gate. They're like the gate and the portal, and stepped into that. And everybody say hi, by the way, whoever's here. Just when you pop in, when I'm doing stuff, just even if you just pop in for a second, pop your name in and let me know that you're there, because you guys are real to me. Like that's the thing I got last night. As I was saying this, you guys are real to me. This is a real that I can handle. I can be with millions of people this way. This is safe. Great, let's do it. There's unprecedented time where we can be with millions of people and have everybody stay safe. Hey, Jerry, greetings. Have everybody stay safe in the ways that work. Figuring out good barrier systems so that you've got different stages and phases of the barriers so that there's flexibility. There are times when you're just going to be a nope wall. It's like, I am nope's mama. Like, just stay out. Just stay the fuck out. Right? And then sometimes you're a building. People say a gate. A gate's not a whole lot. It's a building. It arbitrates who gets to enter and how much because of the doors and windows and what have you. And then sometimes you're a bridge, where a bridge is an invitation. A bridge, a successful bridge, is an invitation to experience something new. And we know that it's new because it was gapped. That's why there's a bridge. So it's de facto invitation into a new place. So it's an invitation to penetrate a place and specifically be enveloped by that place. Because bridges arbitrate the traffic in a portal. They arbitrate what can come across. They arbitrate what barriers. They, Linda, they arbitrate. But if your bridge isn't strong enough, you're not going to get that elephant herd across the bridge. If your bridge is, if it's not sustainable, then you need to let people know that it might fall while they're crossing it, and that changes who's willing to risk that in order to get to the other side. So it arbitrates the traffic. Well, as we bridge between the parts of ourselves, as I bridge inside me, and then have been taking that out into the world more. How do we make sustainable bridges? That's a good question, because I learned how to make sustainable bridges inside me where I could fuck it up first. And then started helping other people learn, see. It's like, hey, I'm doing this. And that's why when I first started with this, I would say I'm more gump than guru. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. All right. I'm making some shit up and it's working. I'm going to go with the working part. It's working part. Okay. Hold on a second. Get that just a little bit higher. All right. Got more gump than guru. When Forrest was running. Yeah. I ran. Living out loud with JWoww. I got to remember to say that because that's great. Living out loud with JWoww. Hashtag living out loud with JWoww. I just ran. I got it. I mean, I remember when I saw Forrest Gump, I was like, there I am. Like, that's me. Run, Forrest, run. As I say with the kids, run, Boomer, run. Right? And I just kept going. Now, neat story. See, I really love, like, I talk about these principles and things, and then there's this stuff that, like, because I live this stuff. It's like, how do I share this? I share it with, this is the thing. This is what it looks like, and why I say this, and why I use this particular analogy, because neat story about my life. So I had just joined ROTC, and I used to be able to hear dog whistles, and so they tried to get me into the military intelligence, and no. But and so my best friend decided that to teach me how story time with JWoww. That's right. What to think about the military moving forward. What I needed to do was go see, I shit you not, Apocalypse Now. She took me to Apocalypse Now the day that I took all my tests to get into the military, and realized that I had just said the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's see, I was, what was I, 20 something? I had just said the Pledge of Allegiance for the first time since fourth grade, and I just refused to say it after fourth grade. And it just reverse transformer, just taking itself apart, right? So I was little. I was about literally half the size I am now, and I just ran. I was fast, and I ran, 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 and I ran so much. That's time. Date and time stamped. That's time. I ran so much in so many circles around Harvard Yard that they sent a policeman to find out what was going on, because clearly I was running for my life, right? I wasn't in like gym clothes or anything. And so they didn't realize it was me, and they sent me my favorite policeman. Like, this is what I mean by the wonder and magic of my life. And it's one thing to tell this story that's really cool, and this policeman came, and it was a really neat thing, what have you, to understand that this particular policeman he and I hit it off. And amazingly, everybody pop in who's here, pop in and just say who you are and your name and stuff. I want to say hi, hello, thank you for being here. So they sent Officer Sutherland, and Officer Sutherland's last name is one of my mom's best friend's last name, and he's Black. He didn't know the Sutherlands, from where I was. And hey, Ryan. Okay, folks, I'm going to finish the story. Ryan, put your stuff, put your URL where people can see you right here, darling. He is a master artist. One of my faves. I have a piece of his right here. And it's just, it's one that he did. There's a picture he had of me. And Ryan, I keep it right here. Sweetheart, no joke. You see how fast I got this? This is Ryan's work. Isn't that absolutely exquisite? Ryan, put your URL there, baby. And he wrote the nicest thing on the back. Isn't that wonderful? Right? There we go. So I keep it by the head of my bed, Ryan. Reminds me of my own magic. That's real. So, let's see. Which story am I on? Oh, the running. So yeah, they sent Officer Sutherland. This guy, when I refused to get in an ambulance at one point, you're welcome, Ryan. I had been in so many ambulances and I needed to get in the ambulance. Like they needed to get me in the ambulance, and I was a no. And if I'm a no about something, well, anyway, yes. So they got him, and he came and he got me to come down and get in the police car, and then they could take me to the loony bin and lockdown. I wasn't going to do an ambulance again. So this is the guy who came when I'm running, and he's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I told him what had happened. I love the magic of my ancestors. How many different names are there in America? My roots have such magic that they manifested someone who would have markers for me that I wouldn't recognize. I just got the thing about Officer Sutherland being the one who came to stop and not so much stop me, just find out what was going on, because he called it in and said, "It's fine. I know her. Everything's okay." Right? My ass did not get arrested. Like, I didn't really think about that until recently. There's so much magic in my life and my world. I mean, just miracles and miracles upon miracles of magic. So, which is to say, Ryan, thank you for reminding me of my magic in the ways that you have over time. The Will Smith thing. Okay. My perspective, and it can be done. All right. We lost OJ, we lost Cosby, and now we've lost Will. Denzel isn't loud, and he'd be the other one. There's some young ones coming up. Michael B. Jordan, Common are the two who come to mind. There are others. More Janelle Monáe, please. And Will Smith gets to have his life, gets to have his crazy. Clearly stopped holding himself accountable for the grace gift of the trust of his fans. I believe that folks who are not influencers, like the Vapid thing and the celebrity for no reason thing, there's a reason. I don't respect the reason. It's because a lot of people see you. Are you helping them heal? Like, there's a big difference between, what is it, BTO, and the K-pop band that like does good and encourages their fans to do good things, and is making a difference with the platform that they've been graced with being given. That I got respect for. I don't have a problem with the platforming. And I realize that it's in its infancy, so there's going to be a lot of folks who are just early and fast. They're like, they're building the thing. So I'm working on my internal languaging around it. There's an honor that I feel when someone offers me their trust, when someone gives me the grace gift of their trust with their dreamings, their trust with their imagination, their trust with their calibrative lessons, those things that we learn from movies and books and art. That trusting me to support someone in having their magic be, having someone trust me to see their greatness, to feel, to sensoriate their greatness. That's a big deal. And we do that as performers and artists, because as artists, we go to the edge of the isness of the culture and then step into the notness beyond it and offer it up as a possibility of goodness, of usefulness. That's how I hold art. Now, what is seen as good and useful, inspiring, awakening, that's determined by the nanocultures, by the microcultures. And those nanocultures, those microcultures, that's where we get the diversity inside the all one. Okay? I'm playing that game. Again, folks, whoever's here, please pop in and say hi. And hello, and thank you for being here. When a person walked up onto a platform with millions of people there to be entertained, ultimately lifted up inside the faction, the documentaries and the magic and the imaginative art of the Academy Awards and the media that that it supposedly stewards and shepherds, and did a violent thing supposedly for someone else, on behalf of someone else, who, as far as we can see from any footage, did not ask him to do that. There's something incredibly Neanderthal about, I did it for my woman. There really is, to me, in my world. because I want to share how I feel about this. I was insulted. My first thought when he did that was, oh my God, that's some stupid white people shit. Okay. Because they know they can get away with it. You've been black your whole life. You've been black your whole life. Like, was his point to, was he there to prove that he had so made it that he could do what a white man could do and get away with in front of millions of people? You know, it's totally some any people shit. That's my point. On one hand, it is some any people shit. Will Smith has been a black man his whole life, and that has meaning in this country. There are things that he knows that he cannot do. He knows that until that officer sees that he's Will Smith, and if he's in East Podunk, Iowa, he knows he needs to keep his hands at 10 and 2 o'clock on that steering wheel. They don't care about any Will Smith. All they see is some brown skin. So he knows this. So on a certain level, he let himself forget that that was true and has let all I can get, either he's off his meds, that was definitely a thought. You know, I don't know if he's on meds, that would constitute going off them. Or he forgot that there's still, even though the news is tired of covering all those black bodies being shot and dying, and it's like, it was entertaining for a while, but now it's just, so we're not even gonna cover. I mean, we'll say something because, George, what was his name? Something with an F. Anyway, yeah. I mean, if it's really bad, if it's another George Floyd, that was his name. Yeah, George Floyd. If there's another George Floyd, well, then we'll cover it and maybe stir up some shit. But, I mean, especially black on black, crime. Who gives a shit? Right? That's the media. So he let himself forget that is also a part of the reality of what we live with. He had the talk from his mother. His mother said that she just doesn't know what that was. All right. I'm not embarrassed. I'm mad. He just stole so much from Serena and Venus, from those two little girls who trusted him with their great night. I mean, they had a great night because the film they were in, things happened. I literally don't even know if they got awards. But all of that was supposed to be one big celebration. Okay. Supposedly this was because Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia. My partner has alopecia. Jada Pinkett Smith plays badasses. She just was kicking people's asses with Queen Latifah on television, and she plays badass nurses, and she plays badasses who are badasses of badasses. And then she gets paid a joke that's also a compliment. Folks, when did G.I. Jane become an insult? G.I. Joe might have been an insult, but even that's not an insult, because G.I. Joe and G.I. Jane was an amazingly courageous movie that Demi Moore did. If you look at it in the context of its time, there's a bunch of people sitting in armchairs right now looking back and going, oh, this film just wasn't up to par. And okay, bite me. All right. She shaved her head. She at the time, Demi Moore was considered to be one of the beauties on the planet. Her gorgeous tresses were part of her hallmark. People were horrified when she shaved them off. Right? That took courage back then. There's not enough credit given for contexts. G.I. Jane, there are a whole bunch of women in uniform who are proud to be G.I. Jane. And when did that become an insult? I thought what Chris Rock did was funny and tactful. I loved it. I clapped when he said G.I. Jane. I'm like, wow, positive comedy. And she rolled her eyes. I got it. Who says that she rolled her eyes? It might have been about what he said. It probably was about what he said. And that's not a reason for you to get up and hit somebody. Seriously, your wife who plays, maybe she just plays a badass and she's really a wimp at home. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. Your wife doesn't need your protection. She doesn't need your protection. And you certainly can't talk about protecting Black women. I don't need your protection. And that wasn't protection. That was violence rooted in your ego in some way. My Neanderthal, my woman. I took offense to what you said about, because, well, if she's a badass and a G.I. Jane, that means she can actually kick your ass. Well, so I can see where you got insulted. That I can see. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm mad also because I'm insulted. He did not take anyone else into consideration. Very basic moment, human moment. Oh, it's totally. If he wasn't in the front, well, I would like to think if he wasn't in the front row, it wouldn't have happened in a very human moment. Here's what I have to say about the humanity thing. Yeah, human. Somehow, it's to me, we use the humanity as an excuse for bad behavior. That was bad behavior. What he started to do is teach little boys that they can hit people, they can do violence in public, and nothing will happen to them, and they'll get rewarded for it. Think about that. Just take a moment to think about that, because that's what happened. He hit someone in public hard, did not get disciplined, got coddled, got rewarded with an award that he got to receive. He should have been out of there. And then when he received that award, yeah, I know he's banned now. Then when he received that, lock the barn door after the horses go. And I'm glad they have, because now he's not going to get to make any speeches or anything like that. See, he got up on that stage after he hit somebody, got coddled, did not get disciplined, even had people saying it was a good thing he did it. And then when he got up and made his speech, he didn't apologize and talked about how he was going to be a river for his people. Okay, whoever that is, be careful of the shit that's flowing downstream in that river. Because that's a man who needs more therapy than he's getting right now. That would be my hope, that he's getting more help than what he's gotten up till now, because what he's gotten up till now didn't stop that from happening. Yeah, all this stuff that you're saying, yes, it is true. He is a shitty role model, and he wasn't a shitty role model up until that moment. He took that away from a whole bunch of little Black boys. He took it away. He didn't care about them. He didn't care that he was getting to the place that Sidney Poitier and men like him, Harry Belafonte, were for him. He didn't care that he got to that place and that he was inspiring millions of young Black men looking for a role model. He worked his ass off to be that role model. And then when he hit the pinnacle of it, he shat all over it. his humanity, your humanity thresholds of behavior change as you move up the mainstream currency of power's food chain. And he's moved up that food chain. He got money, which negates a whole heap of bunch of his blackness. Whole heap of bunch. He let himself forget. And while that's humanity, I have a feeling his mother raised him better than that. So he also insulted his ancestors, his roots, with that behavior. Now, this whole thing like, well, I mean, that's true for anybody then. And then everybody needs to, like, you know, think about what they're doing. I'm like, yep, right. It's called being accountable. That's honorable. Be accountable. If it's hard, get over it. They're seeing the blowback. No, I mean, the ones who care about being able to be present in things, they're seeing the blowback. When you think about it, there wasn't any blowback until days after the fact. If they go by what they saw that night, there was no blowback. That's my point. And children are impressionable in the moment, not in the long arc. Right? That's true, Ryan. It's a sacred, healthy, intimate teaching moment. And it's good that we have it. It's good that it's being talked about, because it's being talked about differently than it would have been 5 years ago. It's also good because what's being talked about are two wealthy Black men. We have those now. We hear all the time about, 12% of the Black male population being in, private prisons because they want legal slaves. Got it. This is a whole uproar about getting to see that bad behavior does not have a color. Sometimes you're just an asshole. And that's one of the good lessons out of this, is knowing that, to think that he behaved worse than John Wayne, okay, like the quintessential American racist bigot pig. They had to restrain him when the Native American woman, I do not remember her name, got up and talked about what was happening with their people and stuff like that. He had to be physically restrained. Will Smith, when he was asked to leave, just said no, because, he's Will Smith. I just hit somebody, and I'm okay with that. I just hit somebody. I mean, he basically pulled a Trump. Trump once said, I could shoot somebody at this point. I could shoot somebody in the street in front of my, Trump Tower, and nothing's going to happen to me. And he got a little bit of shit about that. Will Smith is like, what you gonna do to me? I'm Will Smith. So what they also got was a big fat dose of unfounded arrogance. Yeah. Yep, lesson gets learned differently. It's not going to get learned the way that it would have if they had come down on him and said, no, violence against anyone is a no. We'll find out if Mr. Rock wants to press charges. And in the meantime, it would be really great if you could leave. Just go. Right? That's some cowardly shit. To do that and then still sit there, that's a coward. I would have had a whole bunch of respect. It's not that I'm against violence. Y'all know me. Some of y'all know me. Some of you are getting to know me. Okay. I am not against violence and have done my fair share for real. And when I hit people, they don't get back up. Okay. That slap, that's some bullshit. If you're going to go up in front of 19 million people and hit somebody, you better pull back your fist as far as it goes and knock his teeth out of his head for a reason. As Jada, the minutia of Will's inspiration to get up and punch his bro, clearly not his bro. If you don't, why would you punch a brother? Which is what bro is short for. No. I don't think you're defending him, sweetheart. I think you're raising points that people think about, and I'm like, you don't have to do anything. There's so much more to think about in the larger cultural context. This is how we build bridges of understanding. I'm not attacking him. I'm talking through what his behavior has done in one community with which I have a fair amount of familiarity. Now, I say a fair amount. People are like, well, you're Black. Of course, you like, to a point. I'm not a parent. I have a nephew. I don't have male Black children. I can feel my way into certain things. And I know what I've been reading from younger people. So that's what I'm going with. I won't call it childish because I won't insult children like that. He was violent. He was completely out of line. He was an asshole. I don't believe that children inherently behave that way. I don't believe that about children. And I don't like children, as we well know. Can't stand the little fuckers. I'll die for one if the shit hits the fan, but don't ask me to clean it up or be nice to it or anything like that. And don't insult or hurt a child in front of me, or I will be your worst nightmare. And that was not childish. That was an adult making a choice to be a fuckhead. I'm not letting him off the hook. Boyish charm does not work with me. See, that's the thing. There's a whole lot of bad behavior. All right. Childish. Boys being boys. Right? For the man who was in the movie Bad Boys. So a beloved's daughter, she's 3, 4, maybe 4. And brilliant child. And she sees this boy at nursery school, one by one, going through all the girls and pushing them and doing things to them and beating them up, being a bully. And she goes to the nursery school teacher, and the teacher's like, boys will be boys. Right? It's nothing. He's just playing. So he finally makes his way through all the girls and winds up in front of her. And Maya, he walks up to her and does what he does, and he pushes, the girl, and she doesn't budge because, well, yeah, she's a tank. And she says to him very calmly, because she went 3 different times to the nursery school teacher, and they were like, yeah, whatever. Did nothing about it. So he pushed her, and she said, please don't do that. And he's like, what you going to do about it? And pushed her again. And she reached down and took her shoe, and she grabbed the front of it, and she took the heel of it, and she bashed his fucking head and knocked him out on the playground. And left him there. And then went in and told the teacher that she'd done it. See, Will Smith doesn't have the guts of a 4-year-old white girl. I have a problem with that. He doesn't have the honor of a 4-year-old white girl. My respect for him just went completely out the window. If he'd done it at home, he could hide. You're welcome. I live for this shit. He did it in front of people and then showed them that he doesn't respect what they think the law, common decency, having a spine. Oh, by the way, the nursery school teacher got all upset because, the boy got hurt. The girls got hurt badly too, but she didn't care about that. She cared about the little boy getting hurt because he got his comeuppance. And so she called, my friend said, your daughter is, violent. And she said, I know for a fact that she went to you 3 times and you did nothing about it and told her boys would be boys. I have boy children in my life and none of them behave like that. They never would. So the fact that she did your job for you means that maybe what I need to do is get a partial refund since my daughter is doing your job. Will didn't have that. And yet he's played people who have that. So how come he didn't learn from all those hours of playing those people? I just don't get it. Now, I want to finish this with Jada. Jada's lovely and wonderful and gorgeous and a badass as far as I can tell. I don't give a shit. If she's in an open relationship, great. If she's not in an open relationship and she cheated, great. I don't give a fuck. What she does with her parts, she does with her parts. Who gives a shit? Unless she's like carrying some massive major disease and she's patient 0, I don't care. Oh, wait, I have a life. Right. But here's the other part. So she's got alopecia. I've been bald for 20 years by choice. I didn't know it was alopecia. I'm sorry that she was upset. I'm sorry. I thought that she was like this badass making a statement with her beautiful self and her beautiful bald head. She looked all proud of it. So I had no idea that she was all, sensitive about the alopecia thing. If you're sensitive about alopecia, then wear a wig. The world is trying to change. There's some of us who chose to shave our heads to make room so that you wouldn't get teased or in a negative way. I've been watching your back, Jada, for 20 years so that you would get teased less than my partner did. So this, I'm so insulted because I got called a badass female soldier because I didn't really choose to have my head bald. I just walk out in my fancy clothes with my head bald so that people can, feel sorry for you. You don't want people to say anything about your bald head and you're female, put a wig on. What? Next. And I don't have compassion for people who whine. Grow a spine. I had kids try and kill me. They stoned me to try and kill me. Why are you whining about being thought of as a badass and making a bunch of money and living a bunch of people's dreams and being stunningly gorgeous and putting your baldness out in the world, expecting no one to comment on it when you're famous? That doesn't make any sense. And you're smart, so it really doesn't make any sense. To me, I don't get the logic of that. So when people say Chris Rock insulted her because she has alopecia, I'm sorry, that's not a causal thing. Who knows that she has alopecia? I don't follow Jada Pinkett Smith. I found out that she had alopecia when her husband went up and clocked somebody. Half-ass. Clocked somebody. I don't follow her or read her medical records. She's not talking about it all over the place. You know, she's not doing all this big fundraising for alopecia because it's such a terrible thing. Okay, you know, so this is the thing. I want the lessons that we have that we can get out of this. I want the lessons to happen. I really want to sit down with Will Smith. Like, someone start a campaign and get 1 million people to get Will Smith to spend like 8 sessions with me. Right? And I want to talk with Chris Rock. And I think Chris Rock is okay. I mean, I think he's got some commentary. I don't think he's all the stuff that a whole bunch of people. I like him. I loved him in Rush Hour. No, not him in Rush Hour. I'm thinking the wrong person. See, I can't even do it. I'm trying to think what I've seen Chris Rock in. Anyway, I never make it through his comedy stuff because there's a whole lot of mean in there without meaning to me. And then he says some good stuff. I don't. Anyway, my bottom line is I'm not a fan, but I know that he's smart, and I know he's just not my kind of humor. All humor is rooted in pain, and I don't feel his pain. Okay, and he doesn't feel mine. No problem. Good, upstanding guy, does good stuff. Good hair. Thank you very much. I'm like, I know I saw him extensively in something. Good hair, which I thought was magnificent. Oh my goodness, and he's fabulous. And as a host for things, he's funny when he's a host. I'm proud of him. And he had a whole lot to think through. You know, I'm still hoping that I wish it was a stunt, because when Will Smith turned away, he was smiling, and Chris Rock was smiling after he got hit. And I'm like, okay, that was a stunt. It's there on the film. And then, of course, there's editing, but that part wasn't edited. I don't understand. But even with what I don't understand, I know that there are repercussions, and I want to be clear that these are the kinds of repercussions that we're talking about. And this is also the kind of stuff where there's an opportunity to build bridges of education. There's an opportunity for us to talk like this. And we have a technology where I can be in Massachusetts and someone in one place, and someone can be some totally other place, and we're having a live conversation, is what I call it, right here. And it's civil, and I'm passionate. People think that if you're civil, you're not passionate. Have you met me? No, it wasn't, because that's a long arc stunt to pull. And we're talking live right here. That's pretty cool. And I'm over on YouTube too. You know, so as I've said, this is me learning. I got on before it was midnight, so it's been 3 nights in a row. My goal is to be on here talking about the stuff that I'm thinking about damn near every day. I want to say every day, and I can say damn near every day, because I want to get used to interacting with y'all as Global Tribe. Okay? And yeah, the bridge building thing with Chris Rock, that's the conversation I want to have with him. I want to talk with him about that, because he successfully bridged us out of a much bigger mess. And I'm proud of him, and it is unfortunate that I am as surprised as I am, and I'm delighted to be this surprised. Right? We don't live in a world where if someone disagrees with their spouse, they tend to say it if it's major. So I don't know what Jada's take on all this was. Maybe they've got an arrangement that Will is her protector. And so he did his job, and, he's her man, and he stood up for her, and that makes her feel safe. And feeling safe is critical. And so if that's the arrangement that they have, they need to rethink the public part. However, that sense of knowing that you're beloved, like Penny knows, if there's any chance that she needs protecting anywhere where I am, I'm going to do it. The death thing is not an issue for me, right? Well, it didn't used to be. It is more now, but it didn't used to be. And I still, it's kind of iffy. If you get me mad enough, that's out the window. I just wouldn't, anyway. All right, I think I've said all the things. He's not much of a leader, so I hope he's not a river to his people too much. Yeah. And what I hope is that something that Ryan said, this is an any people thing. An asshole's an asshole. And it's got nothing to do with whatever their intersectional characteristics are. That's a lesson that I hope we get, because his color did not make him do it. Maybe, see, I can't even get to that. I was going to say maybe his testosterone factored in, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that testosterone makes you violent. I don't buy that excuse. That to me sounds like, Roseanne Barr saying that the Ritalin, made her say the terrible things. No, he's not that through and through. It doesn't negate his work. Wagner was a Nazi fuck. He wrote gorgeous music. No, that's not even the bulk of what he was. The violent moment wasn't the bulk of what he was. And the way that he did it means that there are 19 million people who got a dose of his violence who also got slapped and did not ask for that. And for that, he's accountable. I'm saying 19 million because I don't know how many people watched it. That's when you think globally, when you think about your tribe, it precludes behavior like that. It is clear that he doesn't think about his tribe. That's why, when he's, crying and, the leadership thing and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, any leader who would behave the way that you just did, I'm not following. That's not leadership. That's being at the front of a pack of some kind. That doesn't mean you're leading. That doesn't mean you're guiding. That doesn't mean you're getting anybody. I don't want to go where he's gone. Not now. You don't do things. There's things that you don't do to people and not stand by them. My issue isn't that he slapped Chris Rock. It's that he wasn't accountable for slapping Chris Rock. That's my problem. I wish he hadn't slapped him. This would have been short if he'd been, in fact, I would have all my respect intact if he slapped Chris Rock and was like, I lost my shit. What the fuck was I doing? Okay, I apologize. If he'd gotten up and said, thank you for this, and there's no excuse for my behavior. If the Academy bans me, I will understand. And even before it does, I'm going to step out because thank you for this. And Chris, I'm sorry. And I got to get my shit figured out. And I just want to thank everybody. I don't want that to overshadow the night. I was completely out of line. And, violence is the coward's way. And I'm just really sorry. And I'm grateful for this. And I'm sorry. That I would be a Will Smith fan. That's not what he did. He probably is having a midlife crisis right now. So, yeah, and midlife crisis is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. There is no excuse. He's a guy. I got it. Yes, it's true. There's no excuse. He's having a midlife crisis. Yes, I got it. There's no excuse. His life was not threatened. His wife was not threatened. So why commit violence? His life was not threatened. His wife was not threatened. She might have been insulted. His life was not threatened. His wife was not threatened. Why the violence? The violence is completely unjustifiable under any circumstance, especially that one. In my world. And that's the piece that I want to, all of what I've said. So everybody's been on this ride with me for almost an hour. Here's the piece that's critical to hear. All the things that are unacceptable about what happened, that's with me and on my world. Now, I happen to have a world of my own. Most people say that and folks are like, honey, there's only one world. There's a real world. It's like, no, I have a very real world. I have an entire reality when all of what most of the world has is a re-up of an ality they don't even want, called a reality. I have a reality over on planet JWoww, and I have my own separate world. I exist in them both. And in my world, Will Smith is a coward. He's an arrogant, an unfoundedly arrogant coward. And there's no possible excuse for his behavior. There may be reasons. There's no excuse. Chris Rock, surprisingly, is a gentleman. Oh, he did apologize publicly. Hi, Bryce. He did apologize publicly. However, when you look at the meat of the apology, it happened when? The next day, I think it was, it was the next day or 2 days later, because I am sure one of his publicity people sat on his ass. There wasn't any accountability for it. I measure people's sincerity out of how they stand in the strength to tell the truth about what they've done wrong. Talking about how you're a king and a leader and a river to your people and all that mess while you're standing there crying with a gold Oscar in your hand after you just slapped a fellow actor in public. You're not a leader. And your apology, Will Smith needs to be apologizing kind of for the rest of his life to every little black boy who watched him do that. Every single one of them individually. For starters. Because it's not only little black boys, it's little, everybody's and kind of a whole bunch of people. And he carefully garnered their trust and willingness to have him be who inspired them, and then he betrayed that. There's no honor in that. There was no accountability. There was no accountability at all. And you hit the nail on the head. Accountability needs to show up inside an apology. My apologies go like this. I completely fucked that up. I didn't screw the pooch. I screwed the kennel, and I am so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. If there's a way for me to have you feel better, because my sorry and $6.43 will buy you a mochaccino at Starbucks. Right? So my sorry doesn't change anything. I want you to know that I feel it. Is there something I can do? short of making sure that I don't do that again. Now, what sometimes people get is, I'm not sorry that I did what I did. I'm sorry that the circumstances were such that that's all that I felt that I could do. It is unfortunate that you got hurt. That's not on me. All right. That's also an apology. I don't want people to get hurt unless I'm hurting them. Then I want people to get hurt. Oh, his reward of honey, look it up. This, if you didn't see that, then go look that up. This will be a very different conversation. Okay, because, well, yeah, go look it up. It was, as Penny would say, useless as shit on a tit. Okay. Yeah, just arrogance and some arrogance with some histrionics and some arrogant sauce. All right. So that's a whole bunch of detailed shadow. Here's the shine of this. I'm probably going to do, for me, a series. Yeah, just some human bullshit. Yes, it was. It's not human bullshit. That's asshole bullshit. We always talk about humanity. When people do bad things, we talk about their humanity. When they do good things, we talk about divinity. It's like humanity is black people and divinity is white people. Okay? No. Devil's food cake is dark chocolate, brown. Angel food cake is white, and light. Move to, we want to illuminate. It's like the shine for me. That's why it's shadow and shine and not just the humanity part. Human all around. Yeah. Human for some of us who are on a humanity multivinity dance journey where they're forming a new kind of cultural DNA for us. That's what we're doing on Planet JWoww. It's absolutely the shit. It's great. Love it. And none of us are perfect. Lord have mercy. Some of us are mostly flawed. I raise my hand. And I do lots of good stuff. So people cut me lots of slack. No, although Ryan, I will tell you, reading down this, of the things that people are saying out there, it's a human moment. He's not perfect. He's all of you have been hitting the nail on the head with all of the excuses, not all of them, but so many of the excuses that people are using for him, right? Oh, still living out loud, sweetheart. Yep. That's part of what I'm doing. I'm living, Jerry, perfect timing. You just stood in for Beep. Good job. Thank you, Jerry. My living out loud is meant, my intention for how I live and how I am is, and what I'm sharing and saying is for people to think differently about their circumstances so that they start de-euphemizing it, so that there are fewer excuses and more opportunities used to learn lessons, build bridges, and expand ourselves. Fewer excuses and more expansion. And so, wow. Thank you very much, Jerry. Ryan, at one point you said, whenever you start talking about share your video, I tune it out because and I got that from other people. It wasn't just you. It's don't tell us what to do. And I really took that to heart, and I started figuring out how to invite people to share. And that's why when people are like, you just surround yourself with yes people, I'm like, have you met the people in my life? They tell me when I need to look at things. Now, I may still continue doing what I'm doing because I believe in what I'm doing. However, I have looked at it because I'm surrounded by really smart, big-hearted people who say shit, and y'all get blunt, and I'm listening. Oh, sweet one. Thank you. This was not a sharing moment. I kind of just stopped asking. I just am figuring at this point. I mean, I'll say it in the middle of stuff like, it's like, this is a good one to share if you're wondering when to share. But y'all are, when I earn your trust, when I somehow earn your trust so that it's at a point where you're like, I love the people in my life and I know that this would lift them up. There is no way that I'm not going to give them this gift that's free. When I get to be that in someone's world, they'll share it. And if I'm not that, then, it's like resonate with the parts that you resonate with, and it's not enough of a resonance to have you share it. Enough of a resonance either to have the meaning for you that you share it, or not enough of a resonance to get past the fear of sharing, because that's a real thing, or whatever the thing is. And it feels really good to let go of that, because I figure folks are going to show up. Spirit's going to have folks show up because I'm living my life. I'm sharing my virtual reality with folks. Just, instead of just putting it on the board here and then turning it into courses. This is one closer than a course. This is live with y'all here. And Jerry, thank you. And what moved me was this. You said this whole conversation is the shine. You don't name yourself a shaman. Your tribe names you a shaman. That's what I learned. And everybody I've talked to, regardless of what their tradition is, their equivalent of whatever that word is, shaman, that's pretty much across the board. Folks will let you know when you're the thing. And my tribes named me that, and I fought it and took it on. In the moment, Ryan, when you asked, when you didn't ask, you're like, tell us the shine. And I heard it as okay, you're still talking about the shadow thing. You said you're going to talk about the shine thing. Now talk about the shine thing. And because I was still, and I didn't realize how much I was still rooted in the stop telling us to share. I don't want to hear about that. And the photobomb. And I saw the tell us to shine, and I'm in a different place because I saw that and I'm like, no, he's been here a while. He's in a different place. We've worked together. We've played together. I'm in a different place, and I'm in my power space. This is my power spot. And so I finished what I was saying, and then I thought, this is the shine. Like, this whole thing that I've been saying has been the shine in detail out of this build. All right, maybe I didn't. And I literally, Jerry, I got to didn't, and up popped you writing, this whole conversation is the shine. You're a shaman when your tribe tells you that you are. I'm a shine something. I'm a shadow shine something. I'm sass. I am safety, alignment, align-ment, shine, shadow. That's what SAS stands for, right? Just because you write the song doesn't mean you haven't memorized it. Working on that. And then right as that blew me away, I looked up and there, Ryan, you were writing, "We're here with you." Like I bridged myself out of our past into our now. And his spoon and the cooking pot helping the power spot shine. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're playing with the words. Y'all, I don't like, there's this whole piece in these several other videos. I can't wait to get these things broken up and cataloged. If y'all know videographers who want to figure out what a currency of power exchange would need to be for them to come dive into an archive of thousands of hours of videos where there are probably, anywhere from 5 to 40 quotes in each one and broken up into pieces, literally can be food for folks. It needs to be organized differently. What I'm calling a legion of videographers who are like, need to learn Liwi, language of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment. Need to learn Liwi. I'm here for it. Like, I'm in. Where do we dive in? Because if there are enough of you, then it'll actually go really quickly. If there was just a project where it's like all of the videos are in a place and people can like say that they're working on one and do it, because I'm putting everything, these are all things that are public. That's the thing about it. It's like my IP is held by the world. People hear somebody else using my languaging and they tell me, they show me the letters that they send to the people saying, I hope you worked with Julie Woods because she's been saying this for blah, blah, blah. And you just, or, back when it was that, and now with JWoww. Right. Exactly. Jerry, the playing with words thing. It's so much fun. And we get to see new bridges, and we get like it changes our lens stacks. That's the piece that works. And what also works for me, Sass Shine. Exactly. Right. We have Sass classes on Planet JWoww. That's a whole series, like this, blah, blah, blah for dummies. We have Sass classes. Yeah, that's the bridgineering is what we do. Imaginal bridgineering is technically what it's called. And it's, it's bridging from point of source and origin and move, using skills from further out, learn further out, brought back to point of origin, and then move forward. And it's literally, it's not rewriting your history. There is no history for me. There's this history. And what I love about it, as playing with words, Jerry, history is capital I, capital S, T-O-R-Y. Well, that also happens to be I story as much as it is history. And there's no gender there. It's just the I-ness of that being who is speaking and their story across time. So you'll hear me say that a lot. And I look forward to when that is what, and thank you very much. That's exactly right. Thank you. Very scribe tribe of you. Thank you, my dear. That is, it's not your first time. And that was done just like they do for me. Thank you. Being able to have both the I story and the is story together, it's exquisite when you start replacing. What I encourage people to do is replace the words. Just like take the words from Planet JWoww and put them where they're not quite what we're looking for out in the world, and then read the thing through this Planet JWoww lens stack and try it on. The world changes. The colors get brighter. More birds sing. It's great because it's a game. So you've already brought the fun and the wonder in. Growth, agency, magic, and empowerment. That's seeded into everything. And at the same time, I can say to somebody, game on, or it's just a game. It's simply a game. I'm playing a game. And if they don't speak Liwi, they're getting the kind of, gist of what I'm saying. They don't understand the robustness of it, and they don't need to. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She had, Rainey and I have been friends for 12 years, 15 years. And she actually came when she saw what I was doing with Planet JWoww. She showed up and talked to not even me, my co-creator, and said, hi, this stuff that she's been doing with you for the past, 3.5 years, here's the roots of it here, 5 hours a week on Saturdays, the two of them. And Rainey's she just keeps pulling things in and then weaving it into her stuff so that I get to have the experience of being, somebody's 100th monkey on a regular basis and seeing what it is that comes out of what comes through me. It's just magnificent. I want that. I want to hear for the rest of my life about what people actually do with this stuff. And I've got beloveds who, as they move through and they use it, I don't even know that they're doing it. And then there's money in my PayPal. They're like, I'm making money off you're in the roots of my making money here. You love it. Thank you. Stuff that I gave away for free. That's pretty cool. It was the thing to do. All right. I think I'm going to head to bed. Thank you, y'all. Do I have a watch? I don't think I have a watch here. So we're just going to pray for about 24 seconds and hold that power. Oh, yeah, I do. Right here. Yes, I do. Yeah. Hold on. I'm being a boomer. Just hold on a second. Okay, I think this is the one that has the timer. Yes, there we go. Okay, so we do this and we do that. And then we do that. Great. All right, so I got a timer. Thank you very much for being here with me. Fantastic. Thank you, Bronislav, so much. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Linda. I think you guys are the ones who've been here most steadily. I look forward to going back and reading this. Ryan, you're a hoot. I just love it. It's just delightful having you here. Linda, when you come back, please know I am delighted out of mind that you have been here, all of y'all. This is just great. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to do the 24-second prayer. And this is where we're in our power. We stretch ourselves out. Just simply know it. You cannot know it later. Right now, you know your power rooted into the celestial layers of Gaia, rooted into the celestial layers of the galaxy. From Gaia to galaxy, we are expanded, rooted. We are the dancing roots. Right? That's what we're doing. So from that place of power, to let you know, I'm calling those videographers, I'm calling the folks who are ready to work with the programs and stuff that we have at on Planet JWoww, who are ready to grow into their what's next as they work with us to grow our what's next as we build this kin tribe of ours. So that's what I'm calling, and may there be the right resonances and energies for you out of the power of my prayers to augment yours. And in this lemniscate of power, this is how we get to grow together. And I love it so much. All right, here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Root all the way in and all the way out. Knowing that this is sacred energy that heals everywhere, that brings peace everywhere, that makes a difference everywhere, that needs to be made so that goodness is what happens and what's sustained on and on and on and on. Okay, that's one. Ta-da! Love it. Good. Good, 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 good. Oh, all right, sweet ones. We know what's next. Here we go. Here comes peekaboo prayer. Juju's peekaboo prayer. Here we go. On the count of 3. 1. Hi, everybody. 2, 3. I pressed the button. Okay. Where did everybody go? They disappeared. Where did the folks? Oh, there you is. Julie says that you in the camera were kind of so hi. No, wait. How? Hi. Hi. What's what? Hi. Hello, peoples. Hello, peoples. Oh, the thing is says we stop now. Okay. Okay. Yay! I could sing in the song. Okay, here we go. Ready? Yay us, yay us. We didn't throw our energies on the bus. Yay us, yay us. We putting all our energies onto the bus. The Wow Bus is a good old place. The Wow Bus. Yeah, we get to go places on Planet J-Wow in the Wow Bus. That's the one we're going to do at the Burning Man place. Gonna have a Wow Bus. Yeah, it'd be good. Okay. All right. I gotta see everybody, all the folks, they write it in the thing, and Julie, she's gonna read it, and then we will know what you say, and that will be a good one, okay? We gonna get to be, Julie said that we used to say we could be on the thing and talk to people and stuff, so we gonna, okay. All right. Well, hi, everybody. And I'm gonna get Julie, okay? All right. This is great. This is great. I stayed alive long enough for there to be a world and a way for me to be all of the me's that are here in some way, shape, or form, and have it be a good thing, make a difference in the world, and we get to express ourselves and be with our friends and be safe and feel safe. Pretty amazing. So thank you, everybody. This has been great, and I'm going to do it again. All right. I'm looking forward to doing this. Like, I'm just in it. And this is a good time, crazy ass people still awake, I love it. I love it. And because of technology from Spirit, there are folks who will be with us asynchronously. That's blowing my mind. Everybody's like, yeah, we know this. That's how that works. I'm like, no, like, please, that's not an everyday thing. That's magic. That's real live magic across time. People are thinking of technology as this physicalized thing. And so it's somehow it's mundane, and it's not. It's magical because it creates the structure that brings freedom. Trust elevates discipline into mastery, and love elevates mastery into freedom. Structure is the thing that gives us the opportunity to experience freedom. It's incredible. I'm spanning time and space. When the fuck did that stop being magic? Right? With meaning. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Think about that. Oh, that was very sweet, Ryan. He just gets his phone. Thank you. All right. Y'all take care. And I will be with you soon and probably tomorrow. I'll let you know how the gig went. All right. See everybody. Thanks a bunch. I'm JWoww of Planet JWoww, and we are Tribe Sourced Huvans. This is our legend that we are building together, sweet ones. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be with you. Sticking to it. See you soon. Bye-bye.